Real quick, a new episode of the Dish Podcast is live. You guys can go check it out by clicking the links down in the description box below. It's fire. The Real Problem, The Resurgence, Final Destination, NBA All-Star Edition, excitement growing in 8 games of NBA action. That's what we got to talk about today, so let's go. Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zachary, back bringing some more daily NBA news. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs. We're coming back each and every single day. Can't thank you enough. But now let's just take a quick look at what went down yesterday. You guys already know that the Cavs are one of the more dysfunctional teams in the NBA. Every single year, something happens that causes the Cavs to play like trash on the court. However, despite all the chaos that constantly surrounds the Cleveland Cavaliers, people are more worried about the Cavs than ever this year. And everyone has their own opinion on why they think it's been so bad this year. Some people think it's just because of all the new players the Cavs added to their roster and they haven't developed a good chemistry yet. Some people think it has something to do with Kyrie Irving leaving, and some people think Isaiah Thomas is to blame for everything since they were kind of playing good before he came back. But what if I told you that there was one guy behind the scenes that was the root of every single thing that was wrong with the Cavs? And there is that guy behind the scenes, and his name is Dan Gilbert. As a rival executive in the NBA, just blew the entire lid of all this Cavs drama. All this started back when the Cavs decided to let go of David Griffin, when the two sides couldn't agree on a new contract to keep him on as the general manager. And the reason they couldn't agree on it is not because of numbers or price or David Griffin didn't want the job. It's because Dan Gilbert and David Griffin couldn't agree on what to do with Kyrie Irving. David Griffin, the former GM, wanted to keep Kyrie Irving, but he did have a couple of trades lined up just in case Kyrie Irving grew unhappy with the Cavs and asked for a trade which he felt could have happened. Dan Gilbert, on the other hand, wanted to trade Kyrie Irving. Matter of fact, he wanted to trade him for something very specific, the Brooklyn Nets pick. He had his eyes on that pick the entire time. Gilbert was the driving force behind the trade, in large part due to how much he coveted the Celtics' unprotected first-round pick from the Nets. Dan Gilbert wanted the pick, David Griffin didn't want to do the trade for the pick, and that's why the two sides decided to go their separate ways. And all this is proven because Dan Gilbert has been obsessed ever since he got the pick. He was just spotted a few days ago at the Oklahoma-Alabama game to watch Trae Young and Colin Sexton play, which there is nothing inherently wrong with that. The Cavs do have a lottery pick thanks to the Brooklyn pick in the upcoming draft, so of course they want to make sure they get the best player that will be available to them. But it's just that he was so bent on getting this pick that he was willing to let go of David Griffin to get it. It makes it not the best look. And when they got rid of David Griffin, that's really when everything was just screwed at that point. Because as it turns out, David Griffin was always the guy who stopped the Cavs from getting to the point where they're at now. David Griffin, the general manager who used to put out all those fires and have the hard conversation with the players, coaches, and agents, was shown the door in June, which will make even more sense once you hear these next couple of things. The first one is a quote from Kevin Love when he said, "There's an old saying, nothing haunts us like the things we don't say. We have to get it out of the open and show we can grow from it. And if there are any grievances or things that we need to take care of, let's either put it to rest or find different ways we can grow from them, whether it's on or off the floor." And then there was this from the other executive in the league. This was not as much about Kevin Love as it was with a bunch of players reaching their breaking point with a culture that was increasingly difficult to be a part of. You guys remember after the Cavs lost to the Thunder a couple of weeks ago, and after the game LeBron James says that he was the last person that could break on the team?
It is what it is. I mean, if I can't break, I'm the last one that can break at this point.
Why does that make so much sense now? The Cavs players used to be able to go to David Griffin when they were upset or feeling something or needed to talk. He was kind of like the team therapist. And because of him, things would never get to the point where players just lashed out like this. Since he isn't there anymore, though, the players don't have that guy where they can turn to. And now they are where they are, where the players are just unhappy. And that led to them having that meeting where guys were voicing their frustrations, pointing fingers, accusing Kevin Love of faking being sick. So there's that, and then you guys know all of these reports coming out about Isaiah Thomas and the Cavs players not being happy with him. Well, as it turns out, it might be deeper than just they're not happy with his shot selection. They're also unhappy with how close he is to Dan Gilbert. Thomas has become a favorite of Gilbert. They often exchange calls and text messages. So this isn't necessarily unusual on a team with an owner who is as involved in the basketball side of things as Gilbert is. It also isn't great for locker room chemistry because the rest of the players know it. So the other Cavs players see Isaiah Thomas being all friendly with with Dan Gilbert, the owner that none of them like. And of course, that's going to hurt their chemistry in the locker room even more. And it's just crazy to think about that Dan Gilbert let all of this happen because he wanted the Nets pick. He got rid of Kyrie Irving and sabotaged the entire Cleveland Cavaliers organization for one draft pick. There is no way that LeBron is coming back to Cleveland, and I kind of feel bad for all the Cavs players right now. DeMarcus Cousins spoke out for the first time since he tore his Achilles yesterday. He gave a message on Twitter about coming back even stronger and also wanted to thank the fans for all their support. No lie, this sucks. I've never experienced an injury of this magnitude in my life. But with that being said, nothing I've earned has ever come easy for me either. I've only gotten it the hard way, and I don't expect things to change for me now. I'll overcome this as well and continue to prove. I want to thank everyone for all the love, prayers, and positive energy you have sent my way. You are greatly appreciated. I'm also asking my supporters to join me on this journey back to playing the game I love. See you soon. Hashtag the resurgence. So he's motivated to make a huge comeback, which is great. I hope he does. The question now is, where will he be making a comeback to? Of course, he's going to be a free agent after this season. Anthony Davis, though, must have a strong feeling that that comeback is still going to be made on the New Orleans Pelicans. Take a look at his Instagram message to DeMarcus Cousins. My dog, tough to see, bro. I know you're gonna come back stronger than ever. We gonna hold it down for you. Hashtag Pels, hashtag brother. We gonna hold it down for you. Hashtag Pels, hashtag brothers. Now, Anthony Davis's loyalty to the Pelicans is well known by now. And he also admitted that he is doing everything he can to make sure DeMarcus Cousins stays with the Pelicans after this year. And from the sound of that message, it kind of sounds like he might have convinced him to stay, or at least he thinks that he has convinced him to stay. Well, it seems like the Pistons are getting more and more excited about this Blake Griffin trade. I don't know how this happened so fast, but they were already selling Blake Griffin jerseys at the Pistons game last night. I mean, that's crazy how fast they had those things out and ready to sell. And yesterday, we also got to hear from some of the people in the organization about how they feel about this trade. One of those people being Stan Van Gundy. And he said he's excited about the trade because it's extremely hard to land a bona fide star in the NBA today. So when the opportunity presented itself for the Pistons, they had to take it.
Our thinking was this: the hardest thing to do in this league is to get a proven star. And it's just very hard to do. It's hard to do in free agency. It's hard to do in trades. You get very few opportunities to do it. The guy's a 5-time All-Star. He's been an All-NBA guy, puts you in the top 15 guys in the league. He's only 28 years old. We know the injury history. That's the risk on it. But that risk was worth it because of the talent that we're bringing back.
And Andre Drummond said he's also excited about getting Blake Griffin, that the two of them are already close friends, and that he also doesn't like the comparison to DeAndre Jordan because he can do more on the offensive end than DeAndre Jordan can.
Yeah, I mean, I know Blake very well too, so I talked to him immediately after the trade. So, he's excited to be here, excited to play with us, and obviously when Reggie gets back, he's excited to play with him too.
We see the similarities between he teamed up with DeAndre Jordan now. Lob City East now?
I think I got a little more to my game than DeAndre does offensively, but I think it's going to be a lot more fun.
I know a lot of fans that don't follow the Pistons often just think of Andre Drummond as another version of DeAndre Jordan, but that's not the case. Andre Drummond is a much better passer and can also take his man off the dribble to get to the rim. So those things combined will allow Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin to have a much different dynamic on the court than DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin had. Now I want to know what you guys think though about Dan Gilbert sabotaging the Cavs, Boogie staying with the Pelicans, just about everything. Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a real quick look at the games from last night. The NBA All-Star version of Final Destination. That seems to be what's going on here. Andre Drummond was just chosen to take John Wall's place in the All-Star game since Wall will be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks after knee surgery, and now another replacement will need to be found as Kevin Love broke his hand in the first quarter of last night's Cavs vs Pistons game and will miss the next 2 months as well. This is a huge blow for the Cavs though, because it really means Love will miss the rest of the regular season. They were still trying to build on-court chemistry with all their new guys, and now they have one of their main guys go down. I mean, come playout time, they still won't know how to play with each other and will have to go through yet another rotation change. Everything that could possibly go wrong for the Cavs this year has gone wrong, and that included last night when they were beat by the Pistons on national TV, 125-114. Stanley Johnson was amazing. He finally showed that potential that we saw in him in his rookie year. 26 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals for him yesterday. Keep playing like that, please. And Andre Drummond was huge again as well. 21 points, 22 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. That right there is what makes him different from DeAndre Jordan. I don't even know what there is to say about this. The NBA world has been on fire after James Harden became the first player in NBA history to post a 60-point triple-double. 60 points on 19 of 30 shooting from the field, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals in the Rockets' 114-107 win over the Magic. I'm not surprised at all that Harden was able to do this. He already had multiple 50-point triple-doubles under his belt, but it just baffles me that he was able to do all of this in regulation and keep it up the entire game because he basically didn't sit out. Played 46 minutes. That amazes me more than anything, that he was able to sustain the same level of play while playing that many minutes. That's insane. And with a performance like that alone, he is now by far the favorite to win MVP. I thought I was bugging when I saw how this game turned out at first, but I checked multiple sites to make sure this was right, and it is. The Warriors got blown out by the Jazz, 129-99, a 30-point loss. But hey, these things happen. Ricky Rubio outplayed Stephen Curry. I never thought I'd be saying that. He had 23 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds, while Donovan Mitchell also played well with 20 points. You can expect this to be a great game, and it was. The Raptors versus the Wolves. And in a close game like this, depth always plays a big part in determining the winner most of the time, and the Raptors bench was far superior to the Wolves bench last night, and that allowed Toronto to get the 109-104 win. Jonas Valanciunas outplaying Karl Anthony Towns also helped though. Jonas had 18 points and 11 rebounds, while Towns only had 11 points and 10 rebounds. One flaw with Russell Westbrook is that from time to time, you'll get a game like this out of him where he just pretty much loses you the game. Not having a good night and tries to do too much, and that really hurts the team. I mean, that's what allowed the Wizards to get the 102-96 win over the Thunder yesterday. Westbrook, 5 of 18 from the field, 13 points and 7 turnovers. Beal and Portis play well for Washington though. Beal with 21 points and 9 assists, while Porter dropped 25. Back-to-back games and back-to-back close losses for the Nuggets. That's tough, as LaMarcus Aldridge showed why he's an all-star again by dropping 30 points, 106-104, the final score. Clippers' first game without Blake Griffin didn't go so well as they lose to the Blazers, 104-96. Damian Lillard dropped 28 points, while Jusuf Nurkic had 14 points and 20 rebounds. Zach Randolph and Koufos were enough to beat the Pelicans, 114-103. Randolph played like prime Randolph with 26 points and 12 rebounds, and Koufos, I can't even say play like prime Koufos because I don't think he's ever played like this before, but he had 17 points and 17 rebounds. Porzingis was on fire from beyond the arc, 6 of 8 from deep, 28 points on the night for Unicorn, and Cantor showed once again that if only he were a better defender, he could be one of the best big men in the NBA. Like, he could be dominant. He's already great on the glass, and on offense, it's just his defense that leaves something to be desired. 20 points and 20 rebounds for him as the Knicks get the 111-95 win over the Nets. That wraps up all the action from last night though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news, as well as join the quest to 200K #1,000,000 in a year. Remember to vote for player of the day, but also remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday that player was Giannis Antetokounmpo, and has 31 points, 18 rebounds, and 6 assists. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow for more NBA news, but until then, I am out of here.